Hey, what's up? My name is Mocha Mustafa, and in this video, I'm just going to talk about how I spend my day off from work pursuing music as a goal. I don't really post consistently, but I just want to try again to post. So, what I'm working on, so there's levels to being an artist. I would say I'm at the level where I'm working towards getting that break, making I know I'm not making a lot of sense, but making a starting income to get the ball rolling. And what today is about and what this year is about is kind of a pursuit of excellence. And I'm gonna get to my laptop and show you what I'm doing. It's Friday, and this is about how do you want to spend your Friday, right? Do you want to spend it like at the movies? Do you want to spend it with friends? Or do you want to spend it working towards your dreams? And so, at least just for me personally, it would be cool to look back on this like 8 years from now and be like, look, like I really, every waking moment that I put into this. So what I'm doing specifically today, and what I mean by a pursuit of excellence is, this is music, but for painting, you could just paint and say you're creative and say art is art and paint every day, whatever you felt like painting, and use whatever colors and paint a landscape, paint, my hand is getting tired holding this camera. Paint a landscape, paint whatever. And you could say you're putting in the effort, putting in the time. But what if you spent a year repainting some of the greatest painters' paintings? What if you spent a year, what I'm trying to get at is, I think if you can't make music up to like a certain standard, I don't really know if it's up to par. So that's what I'm doing today. I wish I could just be creative and make whatever songs I want to make, but I'm more so in the studio with this guy, I forget his name. Infinite. He's Bay Area La Russell producer, and I'm sure for other artists as well. And I'm just trying to understand how he makes his beats. And I'm trying to understand how Boy Wonder, Drake's producers, makes his beats. And I'm trying to understand how 2-for-1 Jack Harlow makes his beats. And I have a mentor, and he gives me like assignments on pursuing this standard of excellence. And one of the reasons I wanted to make this video is just to document this process of, I feel like so many of us in life, we just do the minimum. Like we go to school and we do our homework and we submit it. We go to work and we clock out. But it's kind of like a ballerina or like a chef or a karate master. There's something about achieving excellence that is one of my purposes in life. Really hitting that 0.0001% excellence. And that when you try to achieve that is in the details. The devil is in the details. It's in the real details. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, is that I want to remember the days where I could have gone to the Santa Cruz beach. I could have watched movies. I could have done anything. I could have took a flight But instead, I stayed at the same desk that I already spent 40 hours a week doing my day job. I stayed here and I went deep into my craft. And I didn't do it once. I did it day after day, week after week, year after year. And that's kind of what I wanted to document for myself. So, and this kind of relates to and goes out to the people in this world that are the same as me, but maybe they might be doing something else, like roller skating or painting or coding or knitting, anything where you really have to sit with it for a decade and pursue it very, very deeply. Because the more and more I meet people, the more I realize how rare, like everybody is unique, but how rare my type of ambition is, where you really sit hours on hours on hours. Like I almost never meet people like that. So I just wanted to relate in case other people are like that. So I already said most of what I wanted to say, but let me show you specifically what it means to practice excellence and study it on a very, very deep level. So first of all, this is a YouTube video, and sometimes the best YouTube videos are the ones that only have like 2,000 views, not the ones that are like super popular and they have 1 million. It's the ones where there's only 154 likes. Those are the ones where you get more honesty, I feel like. So I'm basically in the studio. And that's the nice thing about the internet, is we all get to connect worldwide in whatever niches that we have, whether you like makeup, whether you like soccer, whether you like music. I'm basically in the studio with this guy right now. And I'm really like taking a note of his background, what hardware he's using, what DAW, what programs, what instruments, what presets, everything like that. And I'm really watching it. And I'm taking an actual note of everything that leads up to LaRussell, the artist, performing on a main stage, making, I don't know how much he makes, maybe $20,000 from one performance. This is part of the foundation for becoming that type of a successful artist. So number one is a YouTube video. Number two, and it's the only other thing I wanted to share, is understanding what makes a hip hop producer different than another hip hop producer. And so I'm really proud to show this Excel sheets, and I just like that it's going to look really technical and detailed. So let me pull that up real quick. Here's a good example. I don't know if it's reflected, so you can't actually read it, but basically every musical element is listed. How do you create it? What are the notes? And throughout the song, when do they come in and when do they come out? And last thing I want to show on this is I'm not doing this once. I'm not doing this 5 times. I'm doing this 25 times. So that whole oh, the lighting is a little bit better. That Apple's camera system is so interesting. That detail level is done 25 times. And that's only for these past 2 weeks. So, yeah, I just wanted to, I really like Philz Coffee, and I think of, it's August 2025, and some people about Philz Coffee, which is, if you don't know, a Bay Area, California, really popular coffee shop, and Phil, the name of the store, and the guy, in, I believe before the 2000s, I don't really know how much truth there is, if this is just supposed to like be a heartfelt fantasy story, marketing story. But what it is that before the 2000s, he and I think along with his son, I'm not sure, crafted a coffee method, and it grew through California and Washington. And what I'm trying to relate here is just that it starts here. It starts here when no one's watching. And I know some other artists that do this too, like some painters that are just hours and hours and hours. But this is not like a performance. This is not something exciting. This is that thing where you're here and you're minute by minute. I think I've already said this. You already get the point. But for the Phil's example, is that it's that entrepreneurial thing where you slowly create the best batch of coffee. And once you hit that recipe, it like boom, now you have something to bring to investors. But I feel like all of that stuff, the ball is rolling. Where the ball hasn't started rolling yet, which is here for me, and like what I mean is like people don't notice you yet, you haven't made money yet, is getting that recipe and trying and trying and trying. So this video goes out to everybody like that, everybody that is, everybody chooses a different type of life, right? But this goes out to the people that don't mind being alone most of the time and pursue a vision where no one else fully believes in it because they can't see it yet. They don't believe you, and pursues it for so long that they develop a year after year, that they develop a crazy amount of patience and drive, kind of a pair, patience and drive. And in so many other institutions where you're promised a prize, you're promised a diploma, you're promised a job, you're promised a raise. When you pursue your own thing, nothing is promised. It's just hope and faith and work. I'm not going to say hard work. I'm going to just say work. So yeah, I'm just in love with my background, and all of these things took, all of these books I actually read, like some of them like the rapper Russ, another one is Nipsey Hussle, some of them are money books. But every one of these items, some of them were super expensive and it took me an actual job to save up for. But everybody's journey is different. Like for me, I've already been trying to pursue this for like 8 years, and I'm so proud of myself that it will happen. I don't give a fuck. Like, it will happen. Someone like 2 Chainz or Kanye West. 2 Chainz is a nice example. Like, he only got it popping, I'm pretty sure, at 35, and I'm 27. So there you go. And he's like a household name. So anyways, I love to talk, and I love to talk about this passion, so I could go on forever. But I hope at least I can look back at this video 10 years from now and just remember the vibe that I was in. Yeah. Mocha Mustafa.